Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo Community, where tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and the curious are encouraged to join in these live streams, real-world events, share and inspire, and ultimately create better art and tattoos together. We beam out nearly every day, and with your help, have evolved into a quality network of amazing live and on-demand tattoo and art shows that have all been receiving rave reviews. You're currently watching the Sunday afternoon drawing group with me, Jason Leeser. Artists, feel free to zoom in by clicking on the link in the Reinventing the Tattoo events area. If this is your first time zooming in to Reinventing the Tattoo, could win yourself a limited run t-shirt. You might be beaming in from YouTube or watching on Facebook, or maybe you're listening to the podcast. But you can always get the latest event schedule and notifications at the official Reinventing the Tattoo community, located on both the app stores, the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, or directly at community.reinventingthetattoo.com. If this is working for you, please let us know in the comments in the chat area and tag a friend who loves tattoos. Also, please make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. We're really trying to get this out to a lot more people, and the best way to do that is to have you guys help us promote it. All Reinventing the Tattoo Network shows, art jams, drawing groups, interviews, panels, webinars, seriously, all of it can be enjoyed on demand and found in the library of the Reinventing the Tattoo community, as well as the YouTube channel and the podcast channels. There are countless tattoo and art rabbit holes for you to dive into, and it's actually perfect for the front room of your studio while clients are waiting, or to help entertain your tattoo clients as they're getting worked on. We're actually beaming out 4 channels of these shows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can access that live at reinventing247.com. We have some weekly staple shows that we always encourage everyone to tune into, starting on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern time with the this drawing group hosted by me, Jason Leeser. And this is followed at 9 p.m. by the Tattoo Weekly broadcast with Lauren Gregory, Gabe Ripley, and Jake Meeks of the Fireside Tattoo Network. Mondays at 9 a.m., we have the Early Bird Drawing Group with Kier, directly followed on Mondays at 9 p.m. by a subscriber exclusive drawing group with Guy Aitchison, where we go through and we start to tackle some of those elements of drawing that we always need to stay up with. That's followed Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. with Ricardo Sertivan, a very good friend of mine, an extremely talented artist. And that's right before Wednesdays at noon, we have the Tattoo Now show. Sorry, it gets a little confusing. There's a lot of shows to keep up with. Wednesdays at 12 noon, we have the Tattoo Now show with Gabe Ripley. Thursdays at 10 a.m., we have another subscriber exclusive drawing group with Kier, who focuses on fundamentals. All skill levels and apprentices are encouraged to attend. Thursdays at 12 noon, we have the Tattoo Collecting podcast with Fawn Baker and Jordan Ruckus. And we've got some special upcoming real world events that are on their way to you. Starting February 5th through 6th, Reinventing the Tattoo will be live from the Red Tree Gallery and True Tube's headquarters in Columbus, Ohio, where we will have a lot of art jams, some seminars, maybe even some live tattooing going on. You never know unless you tune in. April 11th through 14th, the New Hampshire Inspiring Tours with Sean Barber and Nick Baxter is currently sold out for this coming year. You can access and get on the waiting list for next year by going to inspiring.tours. May 20th through 22nd of 2022 will be in Hell City, Columbus. Please make sure to tune in and check out that convention coverage. June 3rd through 5th, there is the new Deadly Tattoo Convention in Calgary, Canada, hosted by James Tex and the folks over at Deadly Tattoos in Canada. I'll be there live with Lauren Gregory, and we will be doing some live convention coverage there. July 8th through 10th, 2022, we have the Rock River Tattoo Art Expo a whole bunch of Reinventing the Tattoo track artists. It's at an amazing venue and it's super easy to get to from anywhere. Definitely going to want to check that one out. July 29th through 31st, we have the Rubber City Tattoo Invitational in Akron, Ohio, with Tony Urbanek. Those of you might know Tony and his awesome machines. Well, he's actually also hosting a tattoo convention. Let's see. Next, we've got special thank you to some of our sponsors. First and foremost is Inkjet Stencils. Inkjet Stencils, print stencils straight from your mobile phone, your tablet, or your computer. Save your time, save your hands, save your apprentices' hands. They've got tons of webinars and they'll even give you free samples if you're looking to try them out. I've used them and I can tell you right now, they're absolutely incredible. Next, we have Interstate Ink LA. Many of you may know Church from his awesome custom sneakers on Instagram. His studio is seeking resident and guest artists, all clean and sober. If you are an artist in recovery, looking for a supporting studio, or you know someone who needs one, hit them up on Instagram at Interstate Ink LA. Next, we have Raw Pigments, a tattoo company that's tapping into the source, rawpigments.co. They are vegan friendly, 100% acrylic free, and they are absolutely awesome. They're completely changing the way that I tattoo. Everything is effortless when you go to put it in. It's super saturated and super vibrant. Definitely worth checking out. That's Raw Pigments. Now you have the worldtattooevents.com, the largest and most comprehensive resource for tattoo events worldwide. With everything that's been going on and events getting rescheduled constantly, you need to stay up to date on the latest and greatest convention information, and that can be found at worldtattooevents.com. We also have DLize Pro, also known as Dermalize Pro in the rest of the world. Thank you, international copyright laws. It's time to step your game up. If you're still using saran wrap and cling wrap to keep your tattoos wrapped, this is the 21st century. I think it's time to maybe step your game up a little bit with that. After that, we've got Tattoo Now, technology for tattooers, the leading edge in SEO and professional development for tattooers of all levels. And they're now accepting new clients. If you're really trying to get yourself out there, really trying to create a bigger footprint, really get in a whole bunch of new clients, well, you need someone to help you out with that. There's only so much you can do on your own. Take a look at Tattoo Now and really start creating that presence that you want. And of course, wouldn't be Reinventing Tattoo without a very special thank you to Guy Aitchison, the founder and creator of Reinventing Tattoo. You can always visit his websites at guyaitchison.com and tattooeducation.com, where you can pick up copies of his Biomech Encyclopedia. He's got DVDs for sale. He's got some awesome custom coil tattoo machines. He's got a lot of original oil paintings and a whole lot more. So you can always find them at guyaitchison.com and tattooeducation.com. Would also like to go through and take a quick second to thank some of our affiliates, the Apprenticeship Diaries, hosted by Amy Nichols, and of course, Fireside Tattoo Network, hosted by Jake Meeks, both of which are incredible resources. If you're just starting out and you're trying to get an apprenticeship and you want to know what to expect and you want to know some of the best strategies, take a look at the Apprenticeship Diaries. That's what it's there for. It is there to help guide you in the right direction to get started on your road to becoming a tattoo artist. Tattoo artists, if you're looking for a way to really step your game up in this industry and you're looking for insider tips and tricks to really help bring your stuff to another level, well, take a look at the Fireside Tattoo Network, which is absolutely filled with gold. I mean, they've got interviews and, convention reviews from all different types of people all over the world. You really can't miss it. So thank you very much, everyone, for that. And yeah, welcome to today's show. And let's see. Ricardo's here with us.
What's up, man?
Looks like we just got Adam that joined us as well. Atomic.
What's up, dude?
Not much. I'm working on switching gears, working on a different painting today. So those of you that might have tuned in over the past few weeks know I've been working on a skull painting. I'm kind of setting that one aside. I just did a glaze on that the other night, so I'm trying to let that dry before I go back through and add another glaze over top of it. So I got started working on a peony because I really like flowers. No one knows why, but I do. So I'm actually going to be going through and working on a peony painting today. I'm still getting one or two things set up, but yeah, just getting going.
Nice.
And then in a week or so, I'll probably switch gears again, and I'll start working in acrylics. I just got a very, very large acrylic painting all laid out. So now it's time to go through and actually start painting it. It's a commission painting that a very good friend of mine, Sydney, commissioned me for back in the spring. And sorry, Sydney, but I'm finally getting around to it now. Please don't hate me. You know, I'm doing the best I can. I've been trying to keep you up to date, and I'm sorry for the delay. But that's artist life, right?
That's what I hear.
Yeah, artist life is crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
That's what I hear.
So you guys can kind of see how I already started to block in some of these tones. And you can still see I did take some non-photo blue and drew in a couple of little areas and some like border lines for these petals, just to give myself a rough idea, a rough approximation of where I want some of these petals to be. I'm going to be going back through and building up a few layers worth of glazing. You can already see how I started to build up a few of the layers and really try to get some of the dimension in those outer petals. When I start to switch around and start working on the interior of the petals, I'm going to be working with a lighter, warmer tone to help go through and contrast this outer layer of petal. That's going to give me a really nice dimensional look and really create the illusion that, you know, it's got this really nice glow coming from the inside. By surrounding that with this nice cerulean blue on the exterior, I really have a feeling like it's going to come together.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Atomic.
Give me about one stroke technique.
I have played around with that a little bit, and I'm going to be completely and totally honest. I'm really not that good at that one stroke painting stuff.
Yeah.
I would prefer to sit down and build up my layers and my tones. As much as I admire people that do that, I just know that I don't do that all that well. You know, yeah, I can acknowledge that. So
it's hard. That painting looks great.
Our ritualistic sip of the magic bean water. Oh, that's good.
The cafe.
I swear, I do not have any blood pumping through my veins. It's all coffee.
It's all caffeine.
Well, no, just coffee, because I do drink some decaf just because I like the taste. And it kind of tricks your mind because you're sitting there and you think you're drinking coffee, but maybe you're not actually drinking coffee.
Whoa, man. Whoa.
Because I don't know if decaf is actually considered coffee.
I mean, I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, I mean, for those people out there that might be more hardcore about, you know, like, oh no, it can't be adulterated like that. You can't. What are you doing? It's like, yo, there's sometimes when I don't want to be up until 4 a.m, but I do want a cup of coffee. So now I
Yeah.
need a knife of the palette. Ricardo, you'd be very, very happy.
Look at that. All right. Just getting in there and chunking it in, man. I like that. Very cool. Look at that. Yeah, that
Now, I
flower
use
looks great,
these-
dude.
I use these mostly just for mixing. This one is for doing this larger flat guy is for doing a lot more like impasto, very like chunking, blocking in kind of stuff. Same thing with this one. This one can be used for mixing and blocking
Mhm.
in. But because I'm working with a panel that's got a little bit of a tooth and a grit to it, I'm not trying to mess that up too much. So I'm just going in straight with brush. But I am using these to help mix up some tones.
Nice. Rules, dude.
No, you rule.
Hey, man. We're just out there trying every day.
Ain't
So
that the
what's everybody?
truth?
So, Adam, what are you working on today?
Just doodling.
Just what's up?
Just doodling.
Just doodling? Cool, man. It's good to have you.
Had I realized y'all were painting, I would have brought my paints.
Oh, man.
Dude, my hand is always doing something fun.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I was
really is.
messing around with some peonies the other day.
I love peonies. I think they can be super intricate or super basic.
Yeah, I did them sort of basic. Of course, I had to put some eyes in the center.
Oh yeah.
You love those, you and those eyes, man. You love those eyes, don't you?
For
It's
sure.
just my thing. It's kind of my thing, man. What do you want me to say? Uh-oh. Houston, I think we have a problem. I think I'm out of white.
First you're having problems finding your black paint. Now you're having problems finding your white paint.
Yeah. Oh, no, look, there's a little bit left. I haven't messed with acrylics in so long, dude, that I forget. Like, I used to buy them, you know, what I needed every once in a while, and then just kind of replace as I went along. But I've been doing so much oil lately that I wanted to try to get this big painting done as you know, quickly as I can before Christmas. So acrylics it is, but I should have looked at my inventory first, huh?
Or you could always pick up some cobalt dryer.
All right.
Cobalt dryer is an oil paint additive that will dry your paints overnight.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, man.
Yeah, apparently it's like really toxic, but it works
see,
really well.
I heard cobalt, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. I think I'll take a little pass on that, there, guy.
So my third day was last week, and I ended up being given a bunch of acrylic paint. And after using them, I have determined that I really hate acrylic.
Oh, I do
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I only use them if absolutely necessary. They are
Yeah.
not my favorite by any means.
Yeah, not at all.
I've seen some people do some pretty incredible stuff with acrylics, though. Like
I'm not
sometimes,
saying that they're not any good. They're just not for me.
right.
Well, my real question was longevity of it. Like, it's not.
Well, think about it like this. Longevity of acrylic. In my opinion, it's probably one of the most long lasting mediums you can work in.
Why's that?
Well, when it dries, it's plastic.
Yeah, that's true.
And we all know how long plastic takes to decompose.
That's true.
You know, a lot of the acrylic paints that are out there nowadays, even like the beginner series, a lot of them are very, very light fast, which means that color is not going to fade. It's not going to dull. It will still be there years from now, if not decades or centuries from now.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, let's think of how long does it take for a plastic water bottle to decompose?
A good little while.
Exactly. And if essentially what we're doing with acrylics is painting with something that as it dries turns into that. Makes you
It's
wonder.
supposed to. But you got to take into concern like the atmosphere, what temperature you painted it at, how it dried, what might have mixed with it, how bad your water is if you're cutting it down.
Well, true. There are subtle differences and subtle things that can make, you know, a very large difference when you're painting with acrylics. But as an overall, I find them to be a very, very robust medium. I just hate working with them.
Yeah, I don't like the way they act at all. Drying time alone, it's just too fast.
Yeah, I think they're just a little too quick to dry for me.
Because you like to build up.
Yeah, I like to build layer upon layer, but like as I'm working, I want to be able to smooth out a specific part, you know?
Yeah.
So I use a lot of dry brush technique and I use a lot of like glazing.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's what usually does it. That combination between glazing and dry brushing to give me very, very silky, smooth kind of layers and blends. So I can really push, you know, the sharp, hard edges that I want to push.
Yeah.
You know, without having to, you know, like if this was acrylic, what I just put down would probably already be dry, just in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Right.
This everything that I already worked on is pretty much already dry here
Yeah, exactly.
too. But it's still a little wet. I'm mixing in water and this other medium from Liquitex called well, I guess it's actually just a glazing medium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
glazing medium is great stuff.
Yeah, this is what I'll use whenever I go. Like right now, I'm just laying in all the base tones and stuff like that, and then I'm gonna go in once that's all done, and I have everything where I think it looks right. Then I'll go in and start blending with that glazing medium, and kind of like finessing it, and then
So
adding
what
those.
I used to use the glazing medium as a almost like a linseed oil. If
Right,
you were
exactly.
working with oils, where you can put down a little bit of it and put your paint down next to it,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And it'll like suck it in.
Right, exactly it. I also like using that stuff with acrylics, for example, because like you can have like in oils, you know what I mean? You can have like different hues that you would add, like a red on underneath as a base tone, and then you'd go through and put like a light blue, so give it that like softer lavender kind of feel.
Right,
You know,
right.
you can use the acrylic medium in the same function. You know, so
Right.
I like that too. Like right now, I'm going back through and I'm putting a little bit of light teal down. So whenever I go through with the like yellowish white color or yellowish green color for this, it'll have that different hue, like just separate it just a little bit more from the background, so it's not so Christmas looking.
I keep struggling over this round on round shadow.
Round
Let's
on,
go ahead and
oh,
let's take.
round on round shadow.
I can't see it.
What are you struggling with?
Right. See how this one should be casting its shadow over it.
Hold on, let me spotlight you. View gallery.
Every time I go to build up a little bit here, I don't know, I'm just not happy with it. It's coming
Okay.
along, I'm just not happy with it.
Okay, are you working off of more of a single point light source?
I kind of attempted to, and then realized I built up backwards when I started from the bottom.
Okay.
Are you using pen or what are you using? Are you using pencil?
Pen and marker. Just a good old bit.
Yeah. So I think part of the issue is that the cast shadow that you're having on the back of that eyeball that you're trying to work on, there should be a little bit more white trying to kind of showing through on the more top surface of that eyeball, like more towards that black area.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it should be kind of, how would I say it? Like it should come a little bit closer to the viewer, like to us. So it's not directly on that back contour. It's like it's a little more rolled over towards us, if that makes any sense. So it'd be more towards like that iris. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would start stronger and darker more towards that iris. And then as it went back towards that contoured shape, it would kind of dissipate a little bit more.
Lighten out more.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep rolling, 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 rolling.
Those are tricky, man. Believe me, we were in the class with Guy last Monday, and we're doing what was it, a double light source? Jason, is that what it was, or something?
Dual point.
Dual point light source, yeah. And man, I was just messing with like a sphere and a cylinder, and I was just like, dude, I can't get this right. Like, what the hell is going on here? You know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy when you break that, then you come back down to the fundamentals, how like, you know, important it is to understand those dual point light sources and stuff like that too. So
have you
yeah.
played with that new update from Procreate?
I was just seeing that, dude. What's the deal? What's going on here, man? Tell us how to use it, because I don't know.
You can affect the lighting in it. You can go ahead and add your two lights. You can make one light your warm or your cold or whatever color hue you kind of want to do.
If you're working with a 3D object.
Yeah. You do have to have that map out already laid into it, which we need to go ahead and come up with some people do like the Russ Abbott's little brush set of the models.
Oh, dude, he's already working on a 3D version of that. Trust me when I say, I can guarantee you he's already like 3 steps ahead of us.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh, yeah, well, check this out. This one will talk to you while you paint on it. I like that.
Seriously. This one will send words of encouragement to you as you're working on this design.
Just don't give up, no matter who says anything to you about it. Just keep going.
I'm being summoned for a safety meeting. I will return shortly.
Cool, man.
Good, man. Yeah, I really like what Procreate's been doing lately as far as like pushing the bounds of what they're doing and what they're capable of doing. And I think really delving into this whole like 3D addition to their software is really going to help take their game to a whole new level.
Wow. Yeah, I have to check it out, that 3D thing in Procreate, because it sounds pretty interesting. But what I saw so far is it's just like a motorcycle helmet and like a skateboard and stuff like that, dude.
Which it is, but it does give you the ability to go through and import specific file formats. And if you do any kind of Google searching, you can find 3D objects that are Procreate compatible that you can download, you know, obviously for a fee, because there are people out there that are creating these 3-dimensional objects, and that takes time. Some of them are free. Sometimes you can find them for free if you know the right places to look. You know, but it's very specific with the types of file formats they're allowing. To keep the amount of actual size the program takes up on your iPad down.
Gotcha.
Because the more capability they put into it, the bigger the file size gets. And the last thing you want is something taking up, you know, like 10 gigs worth of space just for the program itself.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah, I can dig it.
Trying to think. I think I might need a little bit of, let me break out some yellow ochre just to warm up some of these pinks. Right? Now, that's a cool pink. Alizarin Crimson's a cool pink. I need like a cadmium, right?
Sure, why not?
Like a diluted cadmium. That should be what I'm looking for.
That's the ticket. So how's your week been, man? What you been up to?
A little of this and that, nothing crazy. A couple of little bangers, couple of little walk-in jammers, nothing crazy. Just it's that time of the year where I'm more so focused on alternate art projects than I am on like larger tattoo projects. So it's nice because it gives me a minute to sit back and really focus on art again. But it's not good because, I'm working on all these commissioned paintings, but that's not necessarily helping me pay my bills right now.
Yeah. It's a tricky one, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But that's artist life, right? From what I'm told, at least. Do you ever run into that situation where it's like you just can't find the right brush for what you're trying to do?
That's why you always just use one like
I know.
this.
Use a 1-inch wide square brush for everything. I know.
Yes, exactly. It's the 101 of painting, man. This one first. This one first.
See, and I've got plenty of those that I'll use to block in. But I'm number one. If I was working with a brush that large, perfect example. This is the 1-inch wide filbert.
Yeah.
Holding this next to the canvas, you can see how much area this would cover.
Right.
I'm not going to be able to get those tiny little spots in there by using a 1-inch wide filbert.
Oh yeah, you can.
Well, you can. I'm just not that good.
No, it's not about being good. It's just about.
That's like saying, oh yeah, tiny little.
Remember?
Oh, you want to do some lettering? Cool. Just break out a 45 mag.
Yeah. Dude, it's like so saith the scabulations.
Right. When
it's like bust it out. Remember in Happy Gilmore where he's like, just tap it in. Just tap it in. Kind of like that. You just tap it in.
I'm actually violating one of my primary rules of protocol, which is don't touch the canvas.
Oh yeah.
But since this lower part is already completely dry, because it's been drying for like 2 weeks, I'm not too worried about that. I've always found that working just like I'm doing a tattoo, I'll go through, like if I'm doing a tattoo, obviously I start with any outlines or anything like that, because I always outline a lot of things. I'm just very big into outlines, but
yeah.
I always find that once the outlines are done, if I start working top down, I find that I run into a lot less issues with any potential like pigment contamination if I'm working start to finish in an area. So I'm not necessarily worried about like sweeping a dark purple into a bright yellow below it, right? Because anything that's above it is done. So anything that may drip or possibly contaminate, I'm not even thinking about that because I'm working on an area that's well below that. And I mean, yeah, you can always wipe up and you can use like a thin coat of Vaseline to keep it coated or whatever ointment you're using, whatever glide you're using. You can do that. That's fine. But I don't really like to use a whole lot of ointment whenever I'm tattooing. Not that I'm not a fan of it. I just don't like it. So I've always found that just working top down works really, really well for me.
Oh, it's interesting because you've always been taught like bottom up. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I mean, that's generally speaking for people that are right-handed, it's bottom right to top left.
Right.
But and that's for line work, and I understand that because you don't want to wipe away your stencil, but most of the stencils and stencil stuff that's being used today, man, that stuff is there. I've had stencils last like 2 days before.
You know what, dude? I did yesterday was I used that stencil stuff you gave me, right? The one from Europe.
Yep.
And yesterday I used part stencil and part marker. And I went through and started drawing on the tattoo, the rest of the tattoo with markers like Sharpies before it was totally dry. It was still a little tacky. And it ended up helping keep that Sharpie on for a lot longer than what it normally does.
So,
it's crazy.
If I end up drawing stuff on, what I'll do is after everything's drawn on with Sharpie and I know it's totally dry, I'll actually go through and take some of that stuff just on the tips of my fingers, right? And I'll just like tack it around very, very lightly. And then I'll let that dry to create a second barrier over top of that, you know, to help that Sharpie stay there a bit longer.
Okay.
And it works like a charm. The stuff I'm talking about, by the way, for those of you that might be watching, is called Stencil Plus from Aloe Tattoo in the UK.
It's awesome.
And if you don't know about Stencil Plus, it is absolutely incredible stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
I've used Electrum, I've used Hulk, I've used Anchored, I've used Lucky's Stencil Green, which I really like, by the way. Big fan of that stuff. I've used Dettol, I've used Green Soap, I've used, you name it. If it's a stencil product, I've probably used it. I find that this stuff from Aloe Tattoo, the Stencil Plus, works 12 times better than anything I've ever touched. And it stays really, really well. It doesn't matter what color stencil paper you're using. So if you want to try out the S8 red stencil paper or like the green or the light blue stencil paper, you get a very good, very strong, crisp stencil every time.
And what did you say that was?
It's called Stencil Plus from Aloe Tattoo.
It's pretty awesome stuff.
It's a little pricey, but it comes in a pump bottle, man, and it's worth every penny.
Yeah.
I gave Ricardo a bottle of it to try out, and I mean, he hasn't thrown it out yet, so it can't be that bad.
I've already ordered my next round, dude, actually. It's good stuff. I love it. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's become my go-to like stencil goo, if you will.
Yeah.
And rumor has it, and I'm not trying to give away like secrets here or anything, but rumor has it, anyone out there that's using the EcoTank inkjet stencils, rumor has it that it works just as well, if not better, than the inkjet stencil solution.
Oh.
If you're tired of putting on like a thin layer and then letting it sit and wiping it off and then doing another layer of it and then putting your stencil on or anything, forget that. Do one thin coat of this stuff, lay that inkjet stencil right on top of it, peel it off, and it's clean, crisp, and clear.
To use for his friends.
Like a full moonlight.
Yes. It's so glorious.
It's fucking fantastic, man. Yeah, sure.
Yes. It's definitely something Sean Connery would probably promote.
That dude passed away not that long ago. Do you know that?
Did he really?
Yeah, man.
I thought that dude was immortal.
I'm pretty sure he is. They're probably just trying to like make sure that we think that he's dead. But yeah, no, that's what they said. The dude.
Yeah, I could have sworn he was alive and well and living with Tupac and Biggie in Puerto Rico.
Probably.
You're thinking of Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we know that dude's immortal. Otherwise, he should have died like 20 years ago.
There's that one picture of him that floats around on the internet all the time. It's like his hair is all fucked up and just smiling like all crazy. I love
Yeah.
that photo, man. It's so great.
What movie was that?
Oh, I don't
That was
know.
him and Adam Sandler.
Oh, anger
Oh
management.
yeah.
That's it.
Yep. That was a good
I,
one.
I always like the one with him and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, the bucket list.
Yeah,
Right.
Yes.
That was a good one too.
yeah, that was a really good movie.
He's just such a versatile actor.
Yeah,
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
He's kind of like one of those dudes where when you watch him in it, it's Jack Nicholson as this guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
right.
it's like you just it's just Jack Nicholson. It's just that's what you get. That's him. Same thing with Morgan Freeman. It's like Morgan Freeman as
Yeah. Yeah, my personal favorite Joker.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, dude, without a doubt, man. Without
pretty
a
good.
doubt.
I don't know. Joaquin Phoenix is pretty good, man.
Yeah, I mean, for the style Joker he needed to be, he did wonderfully.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
But there's
very like
something about
animated.
that old gangster purple suit that just.
Yeah, dude. It was straight purple too. It was not like messing around with some like near dark black purple, right? It's like straight purple and green. It was great.
And then he pulled that like massive revolver out of his pant leg.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh man, we could go over. We could sit here and talk about the various Jokers throughout time and the people that have played Batman and all that stuff, but we are here to talk tattoos. Apparently,
Yeah, if we were gonna do that, I'd walk over to my manager's station and just give you a peek.
Oh, get it all, huh? Dude,
I think he's going to anyway.
Yeah, fuck it.
I did this. I started this dragon tattoo.
Very
yesterday.
nice.
Let's see. Oh my gosh! Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah.
Wow.
With that glare, it's kind of hard to tell.
That's a whole lot of
There's not
action
a kind
figures.
of Joker that is not in here.
Wow, what do you know? He likes his Joker.
It's what we call it.
Yeah, I saw you started that dragon piece. What was it, yesterday, Ricardo?
Yeah, so I was really looking forward to getting it fully done. Here, let me see if I can't share the screen. Hold on one second. Let's see. Yeah, she tapped out. You know what I mean? So it happens sometimes.
Well, you got through all the outlines, right?
I did.
Good. That's what matters.
Got it, boss.
Because as long as that line work is crisp and clean in there, you can always go back to it. Because after that, it's like a paint by number.
Right. Hold on one second. Let me see what I can do here. Hold on one second. Oh, my phone's frozen. Oh, hang on. Jason, could you email me that link real quick? I'm sorry, dude. I can't sign in on my iPad.
You want me to email it to you?
If you don't mind, please.
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you. Let's see if I can get it now.
Sent.
All right, cool. Let me pull it up. kendertattoo@gmail.com.
Yeah.
There it is. Got you. Gotcha.
You know whose work I came across the other day, and I'm really, really digging it.
Who's that?
It's this guy on I know his Instagram. I'm not sure of his actual name, but he goes by Candor Tattoos.
Who's that?
I mean, I sent him a message and he was kind of like weird, but you know, I mean, I like his work. I really do. It's very painterly.
Yeah.
Oh
You
man.
know, if that's what you're into. But I mean, I don't know. Jury's still out on the actual guy.
Right. Yeah, I don't blame you there. You know, I don't blame you there one bit. Thanks for that shout out though, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. If
Yeah,
you
I'm
guys
trying-
don't know, go check out Candor Tattoo. Oh yeah. By the way, he's got prints for sale. Buy them.
Yeah, I haven't started
Don't even
advertising
think
that
about
yet,
it.
have
Trust me, they're going to be a great addition to any studio, any home. They look incredible.
I? Crazy, man. Just in time for Christmas.
Yeah, I heard he had to sell his soul to get the guy to print them for him.
Yeah, pretty much. They came out great though. It was totally worth it.
Oh, I can imagine.
Thing.
You know, I'm just kind of worried because like I don't have much of a soul left. So I'm kind of iffy about that.
So I'm knocking on your door with this Zoom call.
Do I have to let you in? Yes.
Yes, sir.
I forgot.
And
Let me take that off.
And let me mute this real quick too. Okay. So let's see here. Let's connect audio. Perfect. Okay, we got it now. Let me pull up my screen share real fast.
Let me clear my throat.
All right, so I'm sharing the screen, and here is the outline. Let me turn it sideways. Is that better?
Very nice.
Yeah. It was a pretty fun one. I had a lot of fun with it. We're gonna do like some black and gray stuff and the dragon, and then like I think I'm gonna really flush out those peonies and make them a little bit more dimensional.
Right on.
It'll be a pretty good time. Yeah. But that's the furthest that we got. It ended up taking her, you know, it took it a little bit more out of her than what she expected that it would be. She thought she'd come in and like get it done pretty quick and stuff. And normally that's not too much of a problem, but
not with something like that, not unless you add a lot of negative space cloud work to it to block out some of those scales.
Right.
And I always like to do that, especially for things like that, where you just do like some light gray negative space kind of like washy cloud work stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of block out certain areas so that way you're not stuck doing all of those tiny little scales.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just, it's a nightmare and a half, dude.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
big time.
It gives it the style and the dimension that most people think of, but it's such a pain.
Yeah, dude. We'll see. I mean, she is enjoying it so far, and I'm pretty happy with it as well. So it's her first big tattoo. She's got a few like little jammers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But for the better part, it's the first time she's actually had to sit for that long of a tattoo. So if that makes sense.
Take a few ibuprofen or Advil before you get started.
Yeah.
Buckle in, strap in, put on a movie, and zone out.
Yep. Yeah.
I also find that for larger scale tattoos like that are a lot more intricate, I also find that having them come back multiple times is actually really beneficial.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, so I'll actually plan things out like that. If I was going to do that dragon in color,
Mhm.
I would actually plan things out so that it's a 3-session process. So I would go
Mhm.
through, I would do all of the outlines. I would do all of the black and gray, including the background, if the background's going to be black and gray. And then I would have them come back in and I would just do one full day of nothing but pure color.
Ah, okay.
So that way all of my underlying tones are blocked in. All I really have to do is just brush right over top of that with color and boom.
Right.
You know, same thing if it was like a large scale koi fish or anything like that. I usually like at least 3 sessions on large scale Japanese work. But
Mhm.
I also do it in like a very traditional sense that I shade each individual scale separately,
Mhm.
you know, to
I,
leave
I
that tiny little skin break.
yeah, dude, I love that style. I love that style. I like it whenever you do some random like almost solid black ones too, like more towards the darker side of that turn, the turn on the
Right.
body of the dragon, you know, like just a couple little dark scales all the way through usually works out pretty well.
Yeah, I always like to take the scales and I always try to do darker towards the spine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll do a lighter tone, like a lighter value towards the underbelly.
Mm-hmm.
And I always find that that really helps give it almost like a dimensional kind of like rolling look.
Yeah.
But that's just the way I always like to do things.
Yeah, and this one's much more traditional for me too. You know what I mean? Like I stayed with much more traditional kind of image, versus like, you know, kind of adding a lot more, you know, I guess like softer lines and like more shades and stuff like that. Like I went straight, you know, line work with this one. It was pretty fun.
Reminds me a lot of Philippe Blue Dragon.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I
I'll
just
take
saw a
it.
collaborative back piece that Philippe did the other day. Not in person, on Instagram, obviously, but and just their use of the human body and like the area. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, in fact,
Yeah, go for it.
because like it to me is the definition of really maximizing and utilizing the
Mhm.
human body to its fullest extent.
Right.
As far as your composition goes. Oh, that wasn't good.
Oh,
I just got my little mall stick in my oil paints.
I hate that, dude. I have no clothes with no ink or no paint on them at all. Like I have to go buy some new clothes, but like
It's
all my clothes
Ricardo,
have one
it's
or the
very
other or
easy.
both.
I can mail you one. It's called an apron.
What's
You
that?
can get them for pretty cheap,
Mm-hmm.
just in case you were wondering.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say it like this: wearing an apron while you paint and stuff like that is like wearing gloves while you're lifting weights. This just doesn't go in. It doesn't work.
I see no problems with that. I see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
All right, let's pull this up. That's and we will do so this was a collaboration done by Bit Schoenberger in St. Croix, Switzerland. This was a collaboration he did with Philippe Blue.
Oh my God! Look at that thing, dude. Man, blow that up, dude. Man, that's insane.
Yeah,
Look at
you can
that.
see the subtleties in the scale work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to zoom in a little bit more. There we go. You can
Oh,
see
man.
how he does like a very large scale gradient, but he still shades each and every scale.
Right. There's still that like overall saturation for the depth of it too, though. You know what I mean? Like you can
Right.
see like it's not straight skin tone. There's a light wash over the whole area. It's almost like, I mean, it looks like the effect they're going for is a straight ink wash painting, and they're nailing it, dude.
Right.
Nailing it. Like, look at that.
You can tell they did a lot of like gray lines where these like winds and flames are.
Mhm.
You can tell that wasn't like a hard black line that helps give it dimension. But like this
Yeah.
area here where everything just fades out,
Yeah.
to me is like perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude.
But it still continues.
Yeah. I love the way they did that on that right cheek area too. Where
Yeah.
it dissipates. That's fucking killer.
And then how you've got like this nice negative kind of space, smoky area over here on the left leg.
Mhm.
But the right leg continues all the way down to the dragon claw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fire.
That's totally fire, man.
You know, and if you zoom way back out, you can really see how, you know, everything just, it flows so well with the human body and utilizing the human body to its fullest extent.
Again, all those intersecting angles. Like look at the way that claw, the flames on the left hand side of the cheek on the opposite of the body follow the same kind of angle. And
You're talking
even
about here?
yes, so like if you rotate back to the right.
Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. So you're talking here.
Yes. Okay.
This view?
So yes, so you can see the claw coming across the cheek, his butt cheek, and then you can see the way the fire underneath the left cheek is following that same angle. You see what I'm saying? And then the
Yeah.
flames up towards the top of the back, and then they go underneath the left ribs. They follow that same angle as well.
So
And
you're
then the
talking about
horns-
this line here,
Yes,
right? And then
Yep.
this line here.
correct. Correct. And then if you follow it, it goes all the way across the right leg, and you can see where those curves are of the flames, where they kind of envelop the back of the leg of the dragon
Yeah,
towards the
and how they
interior.
really meet the same angle as the claw
Yes.
folds in.
Yes, exactly. So that's what helps. That's what helps achieve that overall look of what's the right way to say it? Like complete, like
Flowing
of a
consistency.
finished. Yes, yes, and it moves your eye throughout the whole piece. Yeah, you don't just focus on one thing. It's very easy to settle on that flow and that form that Jason's talking about. And it's those angles, to me, in my work and the way I approach art, those are like some of the most important things that you can follow. Like anytime that I draw anything for large areas of the body, I always have those intersecting angles, and I follow those intersecting angles after that, and the composition is pretty sound. I'm the trium perfectum, right? Like the power of three.
Take a look at some of this guy's other work too, because he's got some sick work.
Yeah, there's the thing. Look at
Super traditional.
So good, dude. Man.
It's the thing I love about this is that it's visually interesting in every angle that you look at it.
Yeah.
Right. If you're looking at it straight on, you see like a little bit of this dragon head, you see this dragon claw with water, and it's really moving your eye around no matter which way you look at it. Right here, you've got this tiny little bit of interesting dragon claw. You've got these very nice directional lines. You've got this water down here, you know, and this underbelly kind of curling back behind all of this. You know, so it's always interesting no matter which way you're looking at anything. You always have something interesting to look at, right? And
Right.
that to me is kind of one of those hallmarks of a tattoo artist that really knows what they're doing with large scale work.
Right.
Here's a another one, another full back piece. Another Philippe Lou collaboration.
Man, dude, look at that. There's those angles again. Yeah, and it makes like an X or a triangle.
That's one thing I've always liked about the finger waves, how they fit muscle patterns so well.
Yep. Yeah, when you break it down, like as far as traditional Japanese bodysuits, they understood about composition. Some of the quality of work might have been a little like, questionable and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of that was done by hand, even some of the line work and stuff,
Right.
But they mastered it. I mean, even the percentages.
Dude, check this out.
Even the percentages of color to black and gray, that whole 50.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's incredible.
That is probably the most dope hammerhead shark I think I've ever seen tattooed on anyone.
For sure.
Look at that thing, dude.
Once again, look at how it's always visually interesting in every angle that you look at it. You have all of these directional lines of flow, really moving your eye around the entire piece.
You know what, too, Jason? What you like to do is leave that negative perimeter around a lot of your work. You see the way they have the negative perimeter on the interior of the shark itself instead of on the outside. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I really like the way that they did that to really help separate out the background and the foreground, but they're still using, that nice like borderline to help separate out that shape.
Yeah.
But that's a different take on things that I don't think I've ever tried before.
It looks pretty awesome. It's an interesting way to do it. Because that line, that curve, and that where the hammerhead eye starts to come out of the head, it almost looks like it's gray line.
Right.
Because it matches pretty closely to that saturation in the background of the waves. And then you have that stark black that's like, against that negative space, and it's just like boom, electric, dude.
Right.
It's almost like, why use white when you can just use contrast to help create that dynamic light source or light effect.
Yeah, I really like the way that they don't use it everywhere, though. They use it in certain parts of the fin along this back ridge, even though they have water flowing over top of it.
It's still there, yeah.
But then down here for the lower part of the body, they have a little bit on this part of the fin, nothing on the underbelly. They've got a very, very light kind of light source. But because they know they've got plenty of dark here, they don't have to make it quite as prominent.
Right.
And then like the tiny little bits of like thin texture in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that simple pattern on the front end of that shark too is pretty cool. It definitely pulls your eye towards the mouth and then down towards the rest of the belly and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love the way that they have these very large areas of just pure light gray. Very long, very smooth, very solid gradients. I really think that helps break everything up from all the busy and chaos that's going on with all this with all these waves. I think it really helps add more of like a dynamic balance to it.
That pattern, well, towards the inside of the arm again, if you don't mind.
That was
right here? There, yeah. So yeah, towards the inside of the bicep. Oh shoot, sorry, hold on a second. Yeah, there's my camera. Okay, so see the way the wave comes over the belly and part of the fin, and then the fin comes over the wave, straight, or the wave curvature in the background, and then back over the background after that. It's like 1, 2, 3, like that staircase kind of effect. You know what I mean?
Right.
Such a powerful visual like aid, and as far as like just keeping it clean, keeping it interesting looking. No space is really dead space at all.
And you really create that sense of depth when you have that triple layer there.
Yeah, yes.
It really helps create that sense of depth, even in an image that, isn't rendered with full dimension.
Yes, exactly.
Right? Yep. It automatically makes you know that this wave is crashing over top of this part. This part's going behind this part, and then this part's in front of this part. So by default, it makes you think right off the top of your head, like, okay, this is really moving through space.
Mm-hmm. That piece is killer, man. Look at that, dude. God,
Dude, that is like
man, that's perfect.
incredible. And I love to see the variation and things like that too. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a hammerhead shark is not something you would usually see in this kind of a traditional Japanese style.
No, can we see those skulls, if you don't mind, please?
These,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, once again, you have that triple layer effect where you have foreground, middle ground, background,
Uh-huh.
but the background's not really a background. It's like a secondary middle ground.
Yeah. Look at the depth in those cavities too. It's just like dark. But there's subtle variations in the tonal valley, so
Oh yeah.
and it's awesome. Look how dark that gap is between the back of the wave underneath the jawline and the top part of that other wave kind of coming down.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Just like boom. Dude, implementing that much black, man, it's always scary. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I'm always fascinated and I love seeing this where
Yeah.
you have these very large areas of gray wash
Mm-hmm.
that come over top of something, but you can still see what's behind those waves.
Yeah.
You can still see what's behind those gradients.
Yeah.
You know, really pushes the depth and dimension and makes you think that you're looking through something that's translucent.
Yeah.
Right.
Did this owl and skull in the veil a long time ago. I was doing with that too. But that looks great, man.
Yeah, creating the illusion of transparency is not as easy as a lot of people think.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not at all.
Look at this one, dude.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. So killer. And that chest panel rules.
Yeah. I really like the way that they did the waves crashing up from the armpit.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's two hands coming together,
Yeah.
kind of like fingers, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah, exactly.
This is another guy who does killer work. GDC Tattoo. Based in Italy.
Yeah, look at that, dude.
Look at this
Oh man, that
snakehead,
koi
dude.
fish is awesome.
Look at this snakehead.
Yeah, dude, that's dope. Man, those lines are so dynamic.
That is dynamic line weight contrast to a T. Everything is still very easily readable. You can still clearly see what each individual part is.
Yeah. I love how he has those secondary lines that go all the way through those little finger rolls too, and the waterwork in the background. It really helps separate that tongue from the background. Yeah, that's killer. I mean, like just the line. So I love tattoos like this because when you see the line work, it already looks finished. You know what I mean? Like it could just be a line work tattoo, and you're like, it's done, dude. You know what I mean? It's just so complete, like looking. Look at that, Hanya, dude, incredible. Yeah, and like the exaggerated line work that just pulls you out throughout the whole piece is incredible. I love it. You can't really
how big it is too, right? Because the size of it alone is going to be a testament to its longevity.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, I agree.
Now here's another snake that he did. I'm not sure if this, so this is a different one, but done in color.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Is that a little cast shadow underneath the back part of the? Yep, it sure is. Look at that. But that's in purple, isn't it? Am I seeing that right?
What,
Underneath,
down here?
Yes, yes. Is that purple or is that looks like? It looks like a combination of purple and black. Because there's purple next to on the tongue, but or is it just the way
it's a dark blue.
Okay, that's what it is. All right,
It's like a
cool.
dark ultramarine blue mixed with
That's
black.
interesting. Look how much that separates that, dude. Wow, that's awesome. I like that color theory that he's using there too, because you have that lime green, you have that dark blue, and then you have that purple next to it too.
With the bright yellow mixed in with
Yeah.
that lime green.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting, man. Look at that. And then look at that teal on top of that, like it's not even that's like a bluish green too. It's not even olive.
So
Wow.
it's like, so this is the perfect example of like your color gradient, right?
Yeah,
Because you go
yes.
from these very, very bright, saturated, intense lime greens and yellows.
Hmm.
And as you move further back in space to kind of show that that head is rolling backwards, you
Hmm.
can see how he's using, instead of like this light lime green or mint green and yellow, you can
Hmm.
see that he's starting to use more of like that olive green
Yeah.
with like a little tinge of yellow. And
Yep.
now he's moving back to mixing in a little bit of blue with it, with like more of a teal highlight,
Hmm.
and then just constantly getting cooler and cooler without necessarily getting darker and darker.
Right. Yeah, dude. Because there's not. It's he's pretty much staying away from using any more black in the interior of the subject matter. Like
Right.
all the black is there with the line work, which is another formula of like with traditional Japanese stuff. It's like line work, background shading, that's it. And then the rest of it is just straight color. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he's nailing it, but he's also like enhancing it and like speeding it up a little bit, so to speak, because of that color theory combination that you're talking about. It's incredible.
Well,
I like it.
look at the eyebrow. Look at the eyebrow. Perfect
Yeah.
example. You have a cooler green below,
Uh-huh.
right? Maybe that lime green mixed in with like a little bit of blue to create this nice dark forest green.
Yeah.
And then you've got the lime green mixed in with bright yellow to create this nice warm on top, cool on bottom contrast that automatically, without using any more black, will automatically create this concept of depth and dimension to make this
Mhm.
bottom portion move backwards and this warmer portion come forwards and stand out above that cooler green.
Right, right. It's a great looking piece, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome. What a great find. Man, in that valley, that look at that saturation on those washes underneath the snake head
Yeah,
too.
dude.
It's just like so
That
smooth
is,
and even.
and to get a solid, flat, smooth area of continuous gray wash that's
Like a gradient.
consistent
Yeah.
is really, really tricky.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've picked up a couple of tricks on how to do that from watching some different guys work,
Yeah.
but like this guy's a master at it because that is a very subtle shift in gray.
Yeah,
Oh,
like in
yeah.
the background. Look at that, dude. Yeah, it's incredible. It's cool. He's using like those little dots and stuff like that as the the little brush kind of splatter, with that calligraphied line and stuff like that, like almost with the watercolor brush that you would see in Japanese prints and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. And it creates that dynamic shift like you're talking about too, with all that haze in the background. Foreground sharp and clear, background softer and more muted.
Right.
That's awesome. I love that the way the scales move on that bend, where it tucks over and then back from underneath the belly and stuff. It's cool.
See, this is something else that I really love to see in pieces like this. You can
Mhm.
see how these are all super sharp and crisp.
Mhm.
As they move backwards, they start to get a bit more vague and a
Mhm.
bit more washed out. That's going to
Mhm.
put this in a much more sharp focus
Mhm.
than this, right? So that's immediately going to call your attention to this area.
His work is great, dude. I love those, like that same darker green flowing throughout it, more into the olive, that light blue that's mixed in with it. It's fucking great.
I love this
It was like
cyan
that
blue
robin
that he
egg
put in
blue,
there.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Like a robin's egg or something? Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be.
And you can see where it's mixed in with some of the greens more towards the belly too.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome, man. This is great stuff, dude. Yeah, look how sharp that is. It's a sharp, 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 sharp tattoo.
Yeah, it's just one of many guys that I follow that really has shown that, they can take something that's a bit more classical in nature
Mhm.
and really, really just tweak it out to the point that it's just an incredible piece. You know, it's like breathing new life into something that's been around for ages.
Yeah.
So,
Can I share something with you guys real quick?
yeah, go for it.
Let me share this with you real fast. I thought I had more photos of this, but I'll show you this real quick. Thanks. Can you see? And turn to the side.
Oh, yeah.
Is that better?
Oh, hell
Yeah.
Can you see it? Should I zoom in a little bit more?
Yeah, if you can. There you go.
Oh. Okay, so I'll try to zoom in. I'll have to hold it, but so you can see the veil that I was talking about, and then like those ISO bars that we were talking about with like those smooth gradients and stuff.
Yeah, buddy.
So I did this one, I think back in 2012 or 13, maybe 2014. But here, I'll show you. As you turn it, that veiled look that you were talking about, Jason, right there.
Yep.
You know, where things are like a little bit sharper, and then you have more of a loose kind of background on it underneath
right. Very,
the veil.
very vague.
Then, yes. And then I really tried to kind of focus on like the claw, and I went through and calligraphied that line on the foot too, the owl. And I darkened up that claw there. So like I like that pattern that we were talking about where it's like over, under, right?
Right.
And I try to repeat that throughout the whole piece too. And I had a lot of fun with this one. This was, you know, one of the turning points for me because the client was like, this is my idea, draw it however you want to. I was like, okay, you got it.
Right.
And it was awesome. And
that happens.
I did his back too, but I can't find the photo of it. But sorry about the sound. There you go. So this was unfinished, and I have a finished photo of it somewhere, but man, I've lost so much stuff over the past couple of years that it's terrible.
Tell me about it.
So here's that background too.
Okay.
Like with those little subtle variations in the skull and stuff.
Just those subtle shifts in tone
Mhm.
can make a world of difference.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a fun one. And then there's this one too. Let's see. This is a fun one too.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, little Valkyrie action. This is again one of those times where the guy's like, I want you to just do something. So we sat down with some Sharpies and started drawing on them. I think we both liked what we came up with. I look back at it now and I like to change a lot of stuff, like tighten some things up around the crown and stuff like that. Maybe do some differences with the lips because I think they're too harsh.
I was going to say they are very, very strong, but the lips, the eyes, and the bottom of the nose, those are typically where you want most of your focal point to be.
Right.
Because that's what people are really going to be looking at the most.
Yes.
You know, I remember talking to Shane O'Neill many years ago about, you know, when he's doing a portrait, where does he put most of his emphasis? And it was the eyes and the lips.
Yeah.
And those are like the areas in which he really, really tries to focus. You know, because those apparently are like the initial things that everyone ends up looking at, whether they realize it or not, when they're looking at any kind of a face.
Yeah, I agree. You know, Jason, we have the same kind of color scheme going on today in our paintings. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah,
somewhat.
Pinks.
Yeah, we're using a lot of pinks. Yeah,
a lot of alizarin crimson, a lot of magentas.
Yeah, I got some purple that I've been starting to get into right now with some browns in it.
Yeah, I've been I just broke out my cadmium red deep a minute ago. And I started to play around with that to warm up some of these pinks.
You're right, exactly.
I have to say I really like it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now with this face. Ugh. music's not too loud back here, is it?
I don't hear any music.
I can't hear it at all.
Okay, cool. I made sure to find some like royalty-free music so we weren't getting anybody in trouble.
Always
Right.
appreciated.
Yeah. Which is fun. It's cool that there's a lot of access to that kind of thing, because sometimes when you're on these videos, man, and there's some dead space, it's good to have something in the background, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Well, do you guys listen to anything in the headphones while you're painting or anything like that? What do you guys like to listen to?
A lot of old gangster rap.
Oh, right on. That's awesome, man.
So I actually listened to some recordings that I have on YouTube of this one guy named Ricardo something or another.
Oh man,
I don't know.
dude.
He just has this like very soft melodic voice. I could listen to it all day long.
Oh, that's awesome.
Bob Ross-esque.
We're just gonna be totally zen and happy today, guys. Today we're gonna make the day whatever the hell we want to make the day, you know?
So today's objective is to paint a whole bunch of happy little triangles.
That's exactly it, dude. Guess what?
And just
triangle.
I was looking at this one triangle and he seemed kind of lonely. So I'm just gonna come over here and give him a friend. And we're gonna call that friend the dodecahedron.
Yep, that's exactly it. Yep, you got it, man. Sounds like a pretty decent dude.
Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Illustrated Monthly.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
I just picked up a book from them not too long ago, all about 3D geometric forms.
Okay.
And it is incredible for
Yeah,
just
nice.
like photo reference and like concept reference and stuff like that. If you're working with anything three-dimensional and it's geometric, it's definitely worth taking a look at.
Nice. You just go on the website and order it up.
Yeah, it's an ebook. You can download it straight to your iPad. And I think it was like $2.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, I've gotten quite a few things off of Illustrated Monthly over the years, none of which have ever been disappointing by any means.
Nice. The one thing about this glazing medium, dude, is it tends to dry out pretty quick, man.
Yep.
It gets real sticky real fast, dude. It sucks. Like I end up finding myself dipping back into the water from time to time.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to just go through and thin things out using water. I do like that glazing medium though, because it doesn't make it too runny.
Yes. That is a good thing.
Because no one likes it when your paint just starts dripping down your canvas if you're trying to create a light layer.
Right. Yeah, or if it's like, or if it's like the canvas shows through, like, it's so aggravating, dude.
Yeah.
So aggravating.
I mean, unless that's the kind of look you're going for, but.
Right. That whole trash thing.
The trash polka or just trash can art?
Trash can art.
Yeah, the art that always ends up in the trash can.
Yes, exactly. It's one of those things, man. Like when I see other art like that, sometimes I'll like try to understand it. And sometimes, I mean, like with abstract art, I can get into some of it. I really can, but I've never. It's a whole nother level of loose with your paint that you have to be comfortable with. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I'm that loose with my comfort level in my painting to be able to like do it and feel confident in it. Does that make sense?
Well, I think a lot of it ends up coming down to what kind of abstract art are you talking about, right? If you're talking about abstract painting, that's one thing.
Yes.
If you're talking about abstract, like conceptual art in general, that's going to be a whole different ball game of like, do you understand what the artist is trying to convey?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I think that's what I'm talking about. Like the whole, like the, what was that guy's name? He was the drunk dude. The painter.
Which one? There were plenty of drunk painters.
Well, yeah, for sure, right? But
You're talking to one of them.
he did a lot of of this kind of art that we're talking about. What the hell's his name? It was like splatters. He splattered it everywhere.
Pollock?
Oh,
Pollock.
yeah, Pollock.
Pollock, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Like I try to get into it. I just can't. I don't know. I just look at it and like, well, it looks like somebody got pissed and they just were like, fuck it, I'm done with this painting. Throwing paint all over the place.
Yeah,
But that's
I
just
forget
me.
who I was talking to, but I was talking to another artist one time and they were like, yeah, you want to know why he pioneered that kind of method of painting? Because he couldn't paint to save his life.
Oh, rough.
He's like, so he had to find some way to succeed in it and just started doing the splatter art and
it took off.
People loved it. So
yeah, I mean, somebody sees something, they like it. I mean, I can't tell you how many people have asked me what the value of my tattoos are, like as far as not asking monetarily, but just asking me like why I continue to get tattooed, and like some people they can't get behind it, and it makes total sense that not everybody's going to be into everything, but some people find interest in some of the things that you have no understanding of. So that's one of the reasons that I bring up that whole like, abstract art. I just never could understand it.
See, I love the chaos of it.
Okay, there you go. So tell us about that. Like, what is it about the chaos? Like, you mean the way that you look at it and just makes your eyes all over the place, or what do you mean by the chaos of it? Like the feel?
Yeah, it's more of a feel.
Okay. So when you
Not
see it, it's invoking like a
Pollock's work. But,
okay.
But yeah, it's just the randomness.
Okay. I see. So it's like standing in front of the painting and just kind of feeling whatever that mood might invoke or that painting might invoke.
Sort of.
Okay.
Or do you maybe prefer something that is a bit more non-representational because you have to use your imagination to figure out what's going on inside it?
Yeah, that's more like finding dimensions in it is where I like to be with them.
Okay,
which is why Pollock's didn't really fit what I like.
So what's an artist that you like that's abstract then?
I don't know many names of artists at all.
Sometimes I see things and I like it.
Is more street graffiti styled abstract.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. That stuff I can get lost looking at that stuff all day, man.
And see, graffiti screams to me. That's one reason I really like that double outline around the hammerhead.
Yeah, for sure.
It just had that vibe.
That's definitely true. I didn't think about that, but you're right. It's got that like street kind of feel, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. What time are we at right now?
A little after 2, almost 2:30.
Awesome.
It won't be too much longer. I'll be having to get ready for my appointment.
Yeah, likewise. I actually have an event today I have to go to for the studio I work at. So
okay.
We're doing a little holiday get together thing up at a place where you go and throw axes.
Yeah, man. Okay, that's fun. Yeah, that sounds like fun, dude.
Yeah, it should be a blast.
I wish I was there.
Exactly. I'm hopping on a flight. I'll be there in a little bit.
Oh, better make it quick. The reservation's in 2 hours, so.
Oh, I can get there.
Oh, I bet you could.
No, I'm just joking. I could.
I'm going to strap on my rollerblades, man. I'll be there in 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, that's fun. That sounds like a good time, man.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to check those places out. There's a couple of them around here that I need to go see, go be a part of that. See if I can toss an axe.
I've never once done it at a place that you're supposed to like go pay to do this. We just do it in the backyard.
There you go, dude.
Yeah, if you've got the land and the property to do it in your backyard, that's awesome.
It doesn't take much. You just have to rig stuff up where it's safe.
Right. Like a backboard of some sort.
Yeah. couple sheets of plywood attached to the reverse side of a doghouse tend to keep saw blades from flinging up too far.
There you go.
But they make amazing ninja stars.
Oh, dude, I love those things, man.
So Lou in the YouTube comments just made a comment. Jackson Pollock's work was the first fractal art. It's the same no matter whether you're close up or viewing from a distance. It was the precursor to 3D animation and digital art.
There you go. See,
math documentary that explains his work way better than I can. I'll try to find it and drop it here.
thanks, man. That's awesome, dude. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, like that's exactly what I was looking for. You know, like there's got to be more to it than what I understand of it. You know, like and I think it's awesome that it was a pioneering for like a lot of the 3D art and stuff like that too. And the fractal thing is amazing. Like that shit is incredible. It's so simple and complex at the same time. It's incredible.
Yeah, I'm interested to check out that documentary on it because I don't know too much about fractal art, but I do know that there are certain equations that you can use to generate fractal art, like the Mandelbrot set, for example, and you can go through and create art just by adjusting variables.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's how fractal art was originally discovered, because someone started to plot out coordinates on a grid based off of the like the result of different equations to see what patterns were created. And no matter which variable you changed, it was always some type of a repeating pattern.
That's awesome.
I forget
Lou says it looks like chaos, but was actually very calculated and almost impossible to duplicate.
Nice. Yeah. As far as Pollock's work goes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting as hell. See, I had no idea that there was an intention behind it. I thought like the guy was literally going, I like these colors and how do I want them to fit on this canvas? So, which he was, right? But
I watched a little clip where he was actually hanging paint cans in that. I know you've seen it sitting on people's desk where they've got like the multiple steel marbles and they'll drop one and it'll knock the other back.
nice.
Yes.
Roll of them. And he had set paint cans up on a swing set that way in his garage.
Nice.
Painting like that.
See, learning more and more. It's awesome. It's incredible because there's a place up here called House on the Rock in Wisconsin. If you guys ever get a chance, you should go check it out. There's an author named Neil Gaiman that wrote it into one of his stories, and you know, he talks about these magical places on Earth that there's a power to them. You know, like some people are just drawn to them, and he puts that in the book. And it's one of those things. Like people were asking him, "What are you doing up here in this mountain?" Building this, what is it, a house? He's like, yeah, I don't know why, I have to build it on this house here. There's just something telling me to do it.
Yeah,
so
apparently
cool.
He didn't even own the land where he started to build the house.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was just like, no, I need to build a house here.
Yeah, it has to happen. I'm going to do it. And if you guys get a chance, you should definitely go check it out and make a whole day of it because it's big. Like they've added on to it, and the guy used to collect a bunch of stuff from around the world and, you know, little oddities and stuff like that before there was, you know, the internet, before cell phones and telephones and stuff like that. Like the guy was just, I guess they had telephones at that time, but it was more of a collector's kind of thing where you had to bring them back from overseas.
Yeah.
Or whatever country you're in, or vice versa, or whatever.
Speaking of oddities, if anyone is interested, I'm actually contemplating getting a trip together this year for anyone that might be interested to go and visit the Muter Museum in Philadelphia, the Museum of Medical Oddities.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely incredible. It's one of 3 museums of its kind in the world, with apparently a collective or a collection that is so extensive that it's hard to beat. So if anyone out there that might be watching is interested in getting in on this like field trip, if you will, to the Muter Museum in Philadelphia, please hit me up on Instagram, and I'm going to start taking like a list of names to get a trip together to go and see this. They have full art galleries and everything like that as well as a collection of tattooed human skins over the ages.
Oh yeah.
So that's always interesting, as well as some backstories to those tattooed human skins.
Oh yeah.
They actually brought in Dr. Gemma Angel from the UK to give a talk on her doctoral thesis in tracking some of these tattooed skins from, I believe it was people that were incarcerated in the 1800s in France. I will be happy to look up more of that information and give you the absolute specifics. But they flew her in to give this talk, and it was absolutely mind-blowing.
Radical.
So if anyone's interested, hit me up, let me know, and we'll work out the details. If not, I'm just going to make a trip myself sometime soon.
Nice, dude. Yeah, just let us know what month it'll be, I guess, right? I mean, when time of the year you're thinking about doing it. Once we figure
probably
out,
over the summer at some point.
that can be doable.
Yeah, going to see plaster casts of the conjoined twins, their collection of skulls. You know, and I know if I get a group of artists together to go and tour their collection as like a private tour, I think we can actually get access to a lot more of their like, you know, restricted stuff that's
Ooh.
not usually on display.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know, but I'll be happy to make the arrangements for that and, you know, pass out information on that. Because it's something that when I first went there, just to give you guys an idea of like what is actually there, they have different drawers that you can open up on the display cases, and each drawer contains different things, right? So like one drawer might be a collection of foreign objects that have been retrieved and removed from people's stomachs.
Oh man.
You know, and maybe it's
Oof.
like a collection of nails, or like, you know, like $20 in change, or, you know, spark plugs or weird stuff like that. I'm not kidding, man. You'd be surprised what people will swallow.
I don't think
Yeah.
I would.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough.
I have children.
Well, that is true. But it's actually somewhere, as I, you know, get into some of my later years in life, it's somewhere that I'm actually interested in talking to about potentially going through, and I don't know if I have to sign a contract or something like that, but I'm very interested in actually talking to them about seeing what I can do to preserve the tattoos I've collected over my lifetime.
Radical, dude.
You know, not even necessarily having them on permanent display, but, you know, just to know that all of the work I've collected in my lifetime isn't just going to go with me after I pass.
Yeah.
You know, so I would really like to make that happen. And that would involve sitting down with the curator and legal departments and hiring a lawyer and all that stuff. So
You're of sound mind and body to have your body skinned and then preserved after you're done.
defined sound mind.
Exactly right.
Because like I'm a little off and I know that.
I think we all are. We're all mad here, man.
See, therein is the issue. If your children want to contest it, it could be an issue.
That makes sense.
So Lou said, here's a link to part of the documentary that talks about Pollock. The full documentary series is called The Code.
Okay.
Marcus Du Sautoy is the host. It's a cool ass series if you're a nerd. I am a nerd. Thank you for that. And it is definitely something I'm going to check out.
Lou, thanks for letting us know about that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
thank you very much.
Does Lou have any tattoo work out there floating around the internet?
I do not know. Lou, if you want us to go through and plug you or your Instagram or your website, drop that in the comments and we'll pull it up and, we'll give you a little plug and shout out.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the info, Lou.
Yeah, thank you.
What a cool fucking world, man. It can
Right?
be really cool. Yeah, dude, this is awesome. Like, I love doing this stuff. Like, just hanging out, and talking to people, and people talking to us. It's great.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like the random, we need some information.
Yeah. Yep.
That worked perfectly.
Yeah, it's actually one of the things that like I didn't plug this into the Facebook today. Mostly just because like there are a lot of people that get on the Facebook that are just asking, not necessarily nonsensical questions, but like, when you jump onto a live webcast about art and tattoos and stuff like that, and you drop a comment asking how much is a sleeve.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Not that type of tattoo show, man.
How much is a car?
Exactly. Or a bag of groceries.
How long is a piece of string? My favorite one. But I pulled that on a friend of mine that's a client, and she was asking me how much for this tattoo. And I said, how long is a piece of string? And she goes, the equal distance from the center on each end. And I was like, oh, man.
Damn, dude.
You got me. I was like, man, you nailed it, dude. The equal distance on both ends from the center. I was like, yep, okay. You got it. I should just like give you the tattoo for free now. Jeez.
I mean, when you come back with a comment like that, it's hard to sit back and say, crap, now I can't give you a price.
Exactly, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yep, that would have instantly been a coupon.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yes.
Congratulations. Here's your 50% off coupon.
Yep.
Even though I haven't given you a price yet.
I usually that, or I'll say like it's usually in between like $50 to $1 million, somewhere in between there.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm going to go through and start wrapping things up, guys.
Okay.
So for those of you that have joined us today, thank you very much. We're always interested in getting some more information from people. If there's ever anything you'd like us to do or discuss or see during these broadcasts, by all means, drop a comment down below. We'll be happy to go through. I try to review all of the comments, after the session's done. So if I missed your comment, sorry. I do get kind of wrapped up in these discussions. If I didn't miss your comment, you rule. But as always, if you guys are ever looking for, new or interesting information, or if there's something you'd like us to discuss, let us know. And if you don't want to leave a comment, you'll notice right up over here, you'll have my Instagram. Feel free to go through and just shoot me a DM on Instagram. And I'll be happy to, bring up your topic during the next, live broadcast. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Atomic. Give us a quick shout out, quick sign off. And awesome. How can people get a hold of you?
Just take it easy.
Will do.
I don't want anybody to get a hold of me. I'm staying off everything till the end of the year.
Awesome. Good for you, man. Good for you. Cardo.
What's up, guys? Jason, it's always a pleasure being on here with you, man. I enjoy it very much. It's always good to talk. It's always good to see what you got going on in the background. You're a big inspiration, dude. Thank you so much for everything. My name is Ricardo Sertivant. You can find me Tuesday mornings on Reinventing the Tattoo at 10 a.m. Eastern time. On Tuesdays Feels is what I like to try to call it. We talk about a lot of things. This month we're covering lighting, following in Guy Atchison's footsteps as far as the Monday night classes go. So we'll be talking about lighting this week. I think what I'm going to talk about this week is going to be tonality in our lighting schemes. And we'll kind of go over that. I'm trying to post something up in the group in the group chat there on Reinventing the Tattoo. So go ahead and go give it a go so you can follow along if you'd like to. But yeah, you can reach me at Candor Tattoo on Instagram, candortattoo@gmail.com if you have any questions or anything. If you ever want to talk about anything, let us know. Thanks, Jason. Nice to see you again, Atomic.
It's good to see you too. Appreciate all the inspiration and the assistance, all the knowledge.
Fuck yeah, man. It's killer.
Yeah, likewise. All right, let me switch it back over to myself. Cool. So thanks for jumping in and joining me today, guys. Lou, thank you for tuning in and making all the comments and stuff like that, man. Always appreciate it. And, you know, as I mentioned in the comments, feel free to hit me up, man. We'd love to have you on here to Zoom with us. You know, just shoot me a DM. I'll make sure that you get the next Zoom link so that you can join us in here. Otherwise, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Gabe, Lauren, Guy. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you, Ricardo. Thank you, Atomic. You guys rock. Yeah. If anyone wants to get a hold of me, if you're interested in getting tattooed and you live in the Philadelphia area, you can find me on Instagram at Philly Ink. I work at the Inkwell in Southampton, Pennsylvania, right on Street Road. So feel free to stop by and I'll be happy to set up an appointment with you. So until next time, take care, everyone. Keep those hands busy. Keep painting. And yeah, we'll see you next Sunday.
Peace.
Later.
Later. Take care, everyone.